YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Nate J back with another video, back in the vault. As y'all see by the title, we'll be talking about college is a scam. Is it a scam? I don't know. We'll see. Now, for myself, I did go to college my freshman year out of state, and then I came back in state, and then I went to a technical college. I want to say a year and a half after that when I came back. Now this is just for me personally. Um, well, I guess I'll dive into that later on in the video. But for me, like I said, I did go to college. I didn't finish. Boy, as a college dropout, and I'll get my reasons to that as the video goes on, man. But yeah, we're gonna see from I guess from like both perspectives because this video isn't just gonna be about just shaming college and not going to college and saying college is a full out scam. No, like we're gonna get both sides of the spectrum, and see why some people feel like it is a scam and see why people feel like it's not a scam. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the first one.
Someone who went to college for 4 years and got a degree and graduated and all that good stuff, I can confidently say that college is in fact a scam. Unless you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or something, in medical where you absolutely need a degree, okay, that's your caveat, that's your one-off, right? But for the most part, if you're just going to college to get a degree that's not for one of the things I just said, you're getting scammed. Like you are literally paying tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on where you go, for a degree, for an education from people who have no experience in what you actually want to do. I will say college helps you learn other skills that you don't necessarily need to pay for, like socializing, communication, networking. You could potentially meet some connects that down the line are beneficial to you. And it does definitely help you with your communication skills and not taking communication classes, but just communicating, going to parties, talking to people, talking to girls. Like these are actual skills that help you in life. But that's not really why you go to college, right? So if you're someone who, just wants to have the college experience, enjoy life for 4 years, party, go crazy, college is fun, right? I did all of that and it was great. If you're going to college and you're not becoming one of those careers I just talked about earlier, don't expect to get the job of your dreams, to make a ton of money, to be financially free, to be a super genius when you graduate, because that's just not the case. And for the longest time, I've been really put off by like the scammers in the info industry and courses and mentorships and programs. And I was really against it. And I was like, okay, well, how am I going to learn? And so eventually I ended up buying my first course. And in all honesty, it kind of was a scam. I actually bought Iman Ghazi's first course. And it wasn't a scam in the fact that he didn't provide value. He did. It just wasn't that applicable to me and what I wanted to do. So I paid like $1,500 for that course. I didn't get a ton of value out of it. But just paying that money forced me to make something work, right? I was like, okay, I just paid $1,500 for this. I'm a broke college kid. I have no money. I got to do something, right? And even though the business I got into had basically nothing to do with that course, it was the first step that I needed, that push, right? And so that was kind of the first info product I bought. And then last year about this time, I bought a $10,000 mentorship with one of the fastest growing e-commerce, courses basically in the world. And that, again, I didn't really get a ton of crazy value out of the content, but the connections I made, the people that then, introduced me to other connections, like that's how I met my CS guy, that's how I met a bunch of other people who have helped me along my process of growing my e-commerce brand. That was where the true value lies. And then most recently, I bought another course, but this one's for a different side of what I do. And I got a little more value out of it. Again, more connections, more learning, and it is actually valuable. And even if the material itself is kind of general, which I feel like in a lot of cases it is. It's not real one-on-one mentorship. You're not sitting down and talking to, the guru, the main head honcho. You're kind of just looking at videos. Even if you don't get crazy value from that, there are other people like you with the same mindset in that group that you can network with and that you never would have met before, right? And then that becomes the true value in my eyes from info. So even kind of like college, what you're pitched on is the course material, right? That is not really where you get the crazy value. It's from the connections, the networking, the people that can, help you out of the goodness of their heart because they understand you're grinding, you're an entrepreneur, you want to learn, you want to grow. And those people are what really help you take your next leg up and become successful. And so if you're someone who, doesn't want to go to college, or you're in college and you're realizing, oh shit, like this is really not going to help me in life or what I want to do and to make a bunch of money and be financially free, time freedom, all these things that you really want, just know info really is a viable option for you. Definitely vet the person, follow them on social media, make sure you like their character. And then I would say just fire away, pull the trigger, and don't make yourself bankrupt, but buy your first mentorship, buy your first course to kind of get in the game, see what value you get from it. Maybe it is the course material that helps you a ton, but from my experience, it will be the connections, network of people you'll have at your disposal And that is truly, honestly, full transparency, what has helped me get to where I am, scaling my brand from 0 to 7 figures and now 7 to 8 figures. It's been really reliant on the connections and the people that I've made that have helped me along the way, that I met from these info courses and mentorships that I purchased. Someone who went to college.
Hey, great point. I wanted to play that all the way out before I talk. But yeah, man, hey, like he said, man, if you're not going for like some of the more like essential things in society, like being a doctor, a lawyer, and stuff like that, bro, like I'm not gonna say it's pointless, but for me, myself, I'll just speak for me, myself, right? Um, Even before going to college, being a high school senior, shoot, we can even go back to my junior year in high school. Like, I really didn't know where I was, like, what direction I wanted to go in. As far as going to college, I knew that I wanted to go just to get the experience, and then also like I had friends that was in college, and they taught college up to be this great thing and stuff like that. So I'm like, yo, okay, cool. So like they going and they saying it's lit out there. So hey, let me go out there and see what it is. And so I went, and as quick as I got in there, like as soon as I got in there, I was low key saying that it wasn't for me. You know, saying that because like I went to college for computer science, right? That was my major, computer science, right? And so I was in the program in high school where I was already being taught some of the things that that I needed to know about computer science my junior and senior year. So when I got to college, and I went to school out of state, and we already know tuition out of state is crazy. Now this is back in like 2011, so yeah, I graduated in 2011. So back then, the amount then for out of state tuition was crazy. Now it's probably like, yo, that's nothing compared to what But back then it was something crazy, especially for like I wasn't on scholarship or nothing like that. I did apply for student loans, which I did get accepted for, but it didn't cover much, you know. So my mom and dad ended up having to come out of pocket for I'll just say my first semester of freshman year, because that's how long I was out there for. Just just my freshman semester. Uh, fall semester. So that one semester of me being down there and seeing how much they was coming out of pocket, I'm like, yo, I don't even want to waste their money, bro. I was like, yeah, I don't want to put too much stress on them, especially if I know what, like the stuff that I was learning there. It was like, bro, I'm already ahead, bro. Like some of the stuff that they was teaching, and then they was giving me classes that I really didn't need, bro. It's like, yo, like come on, man. So for me myself, that like the route that I wanted to go down, as far as like my majors, like yo, some of the stuff that I'm learning here, I already learned it in high school, because like I said, they were already prepping me for college, but the college that I went to was behind the stuff that I was learning. So yeah, bro, it was just like, yeah, this is kind of pointless. But like I said, and like he said, like you do get an opportunity to network and meet people, which some of the people that I met while I was there, I don't keep in contact with today. So it's like, yeah. But I did meet some great people though. I will say that in the moment there, I did meet great people while I was there. I went to South Carolina State. Um, yeah, they really didn't have the best. And that's another thing, bro. Like, I was just going to college because I wanted to be in the band. Like, I would just be for real, bro. Like, I wanted to be in the band while I was there. But like I said, I went on scholarship, so I would have to come out of pocket, and yeah, I just went to just like basically get the experience, bro. Which it's like once you go to one party, you've been to them all. Once you talk to one girl, you talk to him, like, that sounds crazy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. So it's like I'd rather just come back to well, yeah, I'd rather just come home and, figure things out, which is what I did. And then, like I said, eventually I went back to school, technical college, uh, and I did those 2 years, and yeah, it was just like the stuff that I was learning then as well too, like I was already doing because, hey, at that point it was like I was just using YouTube to learn the basic things that I was wanting to do, which was graphic design and stuff like that. So I learned pretty much all I needed to learn through YouTube and Google. So it's like, yeah, bro. Like for me, college wasn't for me. Will I say it's a scam? No. It just depends on how you look at it. Like if you're going to just, bro, I don't know, bro. Like let's see what everybody else has to say because I'm just yapping right now. Let's go.
Is it just me or is college a motherfucking scam? Girl, what in the fuck even is all this? Girl, building use fee, bitch. How the fuck am I supposed to go to class if I'm not using the building?
Wait. Building use is crazy. Look at all these fees. Yo, yeah, nah. See, now this, in a sense, is a scam. Athletic facilities, improv fee. Yo, there's a fee for everything. This is Southern University. Wow. Jaguar ambassadors fee. Yo, distance learning fee. Golden Blues fee. What is that? Hold on. They got gospel choir fee. Yo. Yeah, nah. See, this is just robbery, bro. Like, this is just robbery, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, some of this stuff, I can guarantee he didn't ask for none of this. They just threw that on his, like, they just threw that at him, bro. Like, nah, that's crazy.
Then this shit $96. Academic excellence. Bitch, I am academically excellent. What do you
240.
mean? Athletic fee. Now, you can't tell me the last time I been a motherfucking athlete. The fuck am I having an athletic fee for? See, oh hell no, this the shit I be talking about right here. Follett excess fee $618. Who the fuck is Follett and why the fuck is she $618? Distance learning fee $360. There's no distance to go when I'm learning. What the fuck do you mean distance learning fee? University support fee?
Wait, no, support. See, bro, I'm like, cause I went to a HBCU, but it's just like, bro, at that point, like, I be rooting, bro, I be riding for my HBCUs, but it's like stuff like this be making me like, bro, come on, man, like, for real? You want us to get an education out of here, but you charging us fees for stuff like
Or
this.
fee? Yo, what the fuck do we be paying for? Is it just me or
Yeah, bro. At that point, it's just like, bro, it's like, bro, it's just like with like apartments, bro. Like apartments got fees and stuff like that, like all these hidden fees, and yeah, it's just that's crazy. That's just crazy, bro. Like I said, that's just robbery at that point, dog. Like, and like he said, some of the stuff he probably ain't even using. So,
Hey, hello.
Get to the next one.
My name is Flocka Trent, international artist, serial entrepreneur, college graduate, business owner, thrived business, failed business. I want to let y'all know. Listen, bro, you do not have to be a gangster. You do not have to be slinging iron. The streets was part of what raised me. I had good parents. My mother was a phenomenal mother. She had to work a lot. So when she turned her back, I went the other way. As somebody who's been to prison, you feel me? Did a lot of shit underneath the sun. Nothing is new to me. I can honestly tell you, the best shit that I have done one of the best things that I have done in my life was go to college and eventually graduate. It took me 6 years to graduate because I went to prison in the middle of my college years. And I got out and went back to prison. The nigga was a fucking living legend, but it was still hard, but it was beautiful. Listen, the dumbest thing you could do is throw your life away by running around hitting people with these.
Nah, that's facts.
Go learn gun safety, learn how to shoot and aim and do all them things so you can be prepared for the people you need to be prepared for. But listen, if they ain't gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you. Not having no money but having a bunch of pistols is lame. It's lame. You feel me? Hurting your parents, hurting your spouses for going do shit, making other people's parents and spouses cry is lame if it doesn't have to go that way, brother.
That's facts.
I mean, man, I'm fresh as a bitch. I went to college and I'm not lame. Stop letting them dudes who missed out on the opportunity or they can't see the light make you go a certain way, bro. I didn't. Hey, hello.
Yeah, now see, this is a different perspective, man. You know, like I said, we're gonna be getting different perspectives from all walks of life, man. Like when you grow up in the hood, bro, it's like your environment. You don't have to fall victim to your environment, bro. You don't have to let your environment define who you are. You know what I'm saying? You can break free from that. And from his perspective, he's saying like people that grew up in the trenches and stuff like that, some of those guys' mindset is like, yo, like, bro, we ain't going to no college, bro. We on the street 24/7, 365. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's their mindset, you know. But you don't have to let their mindset rub off on you and have you thinking that going to college is lame. Nah, you be different. You break that cycle. You break that curse. You know what I'm saying? You be the one to do that. And just like you said, you don't have to be lame to go to college, bro. No. Like, you want to be different. You want something better for your life. You want to, like I said, break those cycles of just going to prison or dead or 6 feet deep, you know? So, yeah, I definitely respect his perspective, man. And shout out to this brother, man, for sure. I think we have one more. I think we got a lot of clips, man. Let's go ahead and speed this up.
And even when I was in college, I been knew people was slow as fuck because they was studying some bullshit. I asked somebody what that major is. Bullshit. Okay, you ain't gonna be able to get no motherfucking job or nothing. You gonna be struggling. You going right back to the hood as soon as you walk across the stage. You finna walk across the stage and go back to the hood. I seen it happen because y'all was studying some bullshit. And then y'all come over here and be like, oh, college is scam. I can't find a job in my field. What the fuck job you think you gonna get with religious studies or anthropology? How far do you think you was gonna get in life with that bullshit? And people who already got degrees in high demand fields can barely get a job. And you went and studied some bullshit, bitch, you after them. They can't get a job, you way at the bottom of the list. And even when
That's facts. Really just depends on your like what you major in. Like I said, and like the guy said earlier at the beginning of the video, like if you're not going for, you know, becoming a doctor, becoming a lawyer, stuff like that, you know, like if you think some of these like tech graduates, people that graduated with like degrees in like tech and stuff like that, if they're struggling to find a job, you know, like if you going to school for just, I don't know, like just for something that's like wild out of the box because you wanted to be different, you know, it's like, yo, you hey, you kind of got yourself, you know. You feel me? But hey, bro, yeah, like she said though, like you have to think about, okay, what did you go to school for though? You know. So yeah, man, hey, great take on this one, man. Let's get to the...
Going to college is by far the dumbest shit you could do if your whole goal is to make a lot of money. But if your goal is not to make a lot of money and just live an average midlife, that is completely fine as well. Just keep swiping. But if you do not want that, keep listening, because college is by far the biggest waste of money and time. And because you're literally going to a place for 4 years to learn no real skills, you learn a bunch of bullshit, then you have to spend 100 to 200K on it. And then once you graduate and you're 100 to 200K in debt, whatever you spend, then you have to pay interest on top of that with the student loans or whatever you got. And then you go to the job market, which you could barely get a job, and then you'll get the job for like 50K a year to start. And then, a couple years later, you'll hit 100K, maybe. Not the average salary is 60K a year, so maybe you'll get to 100K. Maybe you're really balling, you'll get to 200K, and then you'll cap out around there. Or maybe you're an investment banker who's making a lot of money, but he's working 15 hours a day. So either way, it's shit. You're making a lot of money, but you're working a lot, or you're working like a regular 40-hour week, but you're barely making shit. So either path is pretty shit. But on top of that, like with that much money, like 50 to 100K, maybe a little bit more, and if you want like a family, you want a house, you want all this shit, you have to pay off your taxes, all this shit. You're gonna be always broke. You're always gonna be in debt, and you're literally gonna die in debt. Like, I hate to break it to you, like I hate like being like this straight up, but you're literally gonna die in debt. Or maybe you'll get out of debt and you'll be a millionaire at 70, but then you're gonna be dead. So either way, none of it matters. And the best way to honestly change this, if you want to make a lot of money, is learning a real skill set, building a real business, and then making a shit ton of money so you can eventually not work as much. Going to college is by far the dumbest shit.
Yeah. Like you said, man, and like everybody else been saying, if you don't, moral of the story is go into college with a plan. Go into college knowing the route that you want to take. Don't go into college like myself with no plan, with no like steps on like, okay, I'm gonna go here for this specifically, and while I'm in college, I'm gonna work, start paying off that while I'm in college, paying off these student loans while I'm in college, or at least start chipping away at it. So by the time you graduate, you're not looking at dang near 6 figures in student loan debt. Like go in there like strategically, bro. Like I know for my generation, like I'm like at the tail end of the millennials, or like let me see. Yeah, well I was born in '92, so I think millennials stopped at 96. So a couple of years shy of the end of millennials, that generation, right? I heard a lot of go to college. You're gonna graduate with a great paying job. You know what I'm saying? That's what we heard. That was my experience. So I'm thinking, okay, this is the only route. This is the only way. You feel me? But in reality, especially now, like nowadays, there's a lot of routes. There's a lot of options. You have trade school. You have technical college. You have the entrepreneurship route. You have the workforce. You know what I'm saying? You have the military. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to, like, college isn't the only end all be all, and that's really what I wanted to like convey in this video, bro. Like, if you want, like, this, like, by no means is this video me saying don't go to college. No, I'm just, like I said, I was just watching these videos just to, pick everybody's brain. But for me myself, I would say, if you feel like college is for you, go. If you know what you want to do, why, like, after you leave college and you want to go to college, go. If you're going with a plan, go. Execute that plan. Have fun, of course, you know what I'm saying? But don't forget the mission. Don't forget the mission. Do not forget the mission. Don't forget the goal, right? But if you don't, like, if you're just like, you don't know, if you feel like you're being pressured into it, have that conversation with your parents or whoever is trying to get you to go, and just have that conversation like, hey, look, I don't know if this is going to be the right route for me. I don't know. And but also before you go into the conversation, have a plan, a backup plan, that seems more like reasonable to where they understand, like, okay, cool. You don't want to do this, but you want to do that. All right, cool. So let's see how this goes. And then, like I've seen, like I've heard some people say, "Hey, look, I talked to my mom, and I told her, look, I don't want to go to college. I want to do this." And their parents were just like, "All right, cool. You're gonna try this out for 3 years, and if it don't work out, go to college." And they did it, and hey, before those 2 3 years was up, they already had their thing busting. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have to go to college. So everybody's journey is different, man. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, like I said though, have a plan. Don't just try to freestyle it. You know, actually have a plan before you go to college, man, and really understand what you're getting into. You know, because a lot of these things weren't told to me. You know, but like I said earlier, you live and you learn. You live and you learn, man. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Comment down below, give me your thoughts on this video. Let me know your opinion on college. Do you feel like it's a scam, or do you feel like some people just blowing it out of proportion and just don't have a plan before they go into college and they need to take it more seriously, like I said. So yeah, let me know all that in the comments down below, man. But yeah, if y'all made it this far in the video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff, man. And yeah, this is Nate J signing out of the vault. Deuces.